Beginning November 3rd, Donald Trump will start the longest trip of his presidency and his first to Asia. Japan is the first stop on travels that will also take Trump to South Korea, China, Vietnam and the Philippines. The 12-day tour will be dominated by the president's push for a tougher stance against the threat posed by a nuclear North Korea.
On a scale of 1 to 10, we're at 9. This is very serious at this moment because the North Korean leader seems hell-bent on being able to threaten the United States with a nuclear missile.
Trump has repeatedly used strong language and tweets against North Korea's Kim Jong-un.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
The North Koreans have always had this very strong and bellicose rhetoric. What's different is that usually the American president does not respond the way they speak to us, and yet that's exactly what President Trump has done.
On November 8th, the one-year anniversary of Trump's stunning election win, the president will be in Beijing for a state visit with Chinese President Xi Jinping, who just consolidated his own hold on power during a gathering of the Communist Party Congress. China has long provided much of North Korea's economic lifeblood, and Trump will push Beijing to take further steps to isolate it.
I think the top agenda with the Chinese will be North Korea. I hope this top agenda will be the dominant agenda and that we can find an understanding with the Chinese on the way forward. We cannot be indifferent to a country pointing nuclear weapons at us. If China were in our position, they would not be indifferent either.
Beyond addressing the dangers posed by Pyongyang, Trump will spend much of the trip advocating for American economic interests in the region. During a speech in Da Nang, Vietnam, Trump is also expected to push for closer Indian ties.
What you will hear in Da Nang is a speech that says, really, this isn't just the Pacific. This is the Indo-Pacific, and India is part of the Indo-Pacific. And I think that's a very interesting strategic move.
But it is not going to be all work. In the golf-mad country of Japan, Trump is due to play around with Prime Minister Shinzo Abe and pro-golfer Hideki Matsuyama.
That will be one of the first photos you see on this trip will be of the president golfing in Japan.
The trip will begin in Hawaii and end with a pair of summits, one in Vietnam and one in the Philippines. During his last stop, Trump will meet with Philippines President Rodrigo Duterte, a controversial leader himself who has been accused of human rights abuses for his country's war on drugs. The White House says human rights will be a part of their discussions. Tracy Brown, Associated Press.